Welcome to Telco Bridge's ProSBC TechTrain Module 155, discussing how ProSBC handles SIP registration forwarding.
The only thing that Nicole mentioned here is SIP registration refresh adaptation. Okay? And the refresh of the register here and the register can be different. All right, so then you can reduce the number of refresh sent to the registrar, and that reduces the loads on the registrar. One question for you guys. Your registrar is, what performance can you get? How many registration per second can you get on your registrars? You know? 1,000? 1,000?
Easily. Simultaneously?
Yeah. Well, per second, let's say. How many per second?
Easily
1,000.
1,000.
Okay. Okay, because I heard some had difficulty getting a lot of those registrations, and it was important to get adaptation here. Okay, very good. So you can have different domains like this, right? So you could have Telco Bridges, ProSBC, stuff like that, and then we can redirect to different registrars. Right? Doesn't have to be just one domain and one registrar. So the registration always looks like this. We send a register to the ProSBC. Registrar returns 401 or 407. And then we need to register again, but with the credential encrypted in the message. Okay. Adaptation for register refresh. So we send register, but then the refresh here could be different than the refresh on this side. Okay, so then the registrar has less refresh. Okay. Registrar switch over, so that's if you have two registrar and active standby. Okay, so you can. There's two ways. I didn't show the configuration here, but if you enable one of the options, is that if one registrar becomes unavailable, they will be resent to the secondary registrar, or it's going to be the SIP phone that just re-register again. All right, so this is handled automatically.
So the number of registrations versus the number of actual kind of on our scenario, the agents actually making calls. Once they're registered, then we do have a limit for just, I think it's 6 to 1 core.
6 to 1?
The registered user sticks to 1 core.
Ah, okay.
The process sticks to 1 core, I mean.
Okay.
So then we are limited in that aspect. So if once we hit that, I mean, it's pretty low. I think it's 25.
Okay.
So with that, since we're going in this scenario, we're going always to register.
We're doing that partly based on number of channels for three-way calls to be opened up.
Oh, right, the meet.
Yeah, and they're stuck in the current third party is stuck in meet me process and hasn't moved out of meet me yet. So that's also one of the limitations there. So it's not the asterisk that's limiting it; it's the meet me process.
Okay.
So.
And then the question is?
Can we cascade down once we hit like a limit, registrar A to registrar B after X number of registrations?
X number of registration?
Yeah, we set
No.
a threshold for each one is what he's asking.
No, I don't think so. Unless Nicole says otherwise, but I don't think so.
And then are the calls then going through, passing through as well? Because they're just nailed up, they're always connected. Are they nailed up to always registrar A?
Yes.
In our scenario, yes. Once you nail up, you're stuck to a box.
Yeah.
On hook is different. You know, being on hook to every server at the same time is different than being nailed up. Right? So they're registered to 15 different servers, but they're not actually in a call until they're nailed up. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Well, let's say we don't have much control over that unless you use a different domain for groups of users. But if they're all in the same domain, then no, I can't control where I'm sending according to some parameters. Yep.
You said registration, you can register depending on the domain. Can you use subdomain?
Subdomains.
Then route depending on the subdomain?
I don't know what is a subdomain. What is a subdomain?
Well, here I know customer1.telcobridges.com. I mean, it's user at.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
can use subdomain. Yeah. I don't know, customer1.telcobridges.com and customer2.telcobridges.com and send them to different.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
As long as we just match what we receive.
Yeah. I think it's checking
So we don't-
all of it.
We don't know
Yeah.
if it's a subdomain or
Yeah.
master domain.
Okay, so it's sent to one registrar and the other depending on the. Okay.
Yes. This one. Yeah, I didn't talk about, and I'm not talking a lot about this, but once you're registered, then you can send subscribes and notified. It's all supported in the system. Okay, so if you have these messages like this, subscribe, notify, it will pass automatically. But you need to be registered first.
Here's a question for you.
Yep.
Okay, because in our case, we're active. So
Active.
Both my servers are active. They're not.
You mean registrars?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay, so a call comes in, registration comes in, first one doesn't answer, so it's gonna register to my second one, okay? So let's say my first one comes back up again. Is it gonna know that that one's back up and every new re-registration is supposed to send it back to my primary? Or is it gonna still send it to the secondary?
Let's see in the configuration. What do we put in the configuration? No, we only have active standby. Registrar. Okay, so we can put the registrar, we can put priorities on the registrar. Now, if it starts using the second one, will it continue using the second one or go back to the first one if the first one is up? I don't know.
Well, there's only one active.
Yeah, but if this one goes down,
So then the other one will become active and it's going to continue.
it's going to continue.
Yeah, using that.
It's going to continue using that
The
one.
first one comes back up.
Yeah, but she says it's going to stay active
Yeah, on that one.
on the other one.
So even on a new registration, it's gonna keep
Still-
sending it to the secondary?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you get the primary back up?
Yeah. That means I gotta shut my secondary.
Yeah, probably, or yeah, probably you need to do something to the secondary. Is there another way to do that?
Disable it. So you can disable.
In the status, maybe in the status we have
I
something.
think there's a disable.
Just
Yeah,
disable
but
the
the
NAP
problem with
itself.
that is, you know, you want something unattended. You don't wanna go in there
Exactly,
and
it's
have
not-
to
it's not automated.
disable it.
Yeah, I think there's a status
If you
setting.
disable the NAP, you disable the route as well.
Yeah, no, but not disabling the NAP, but maybe the registrar.
The
On-
register, so if you want to
Yeah.
force it, you disable it.
Yeah, you can disable just the registrar
Yeah.
here. Well, it's not here. This is in the configuration. You can in status.
But I have to go
No, it's in
physically
the-
disable
You have to go physically.
it. So it doesn't know it's back up and go back in there.
Oh, no. Well, it may know it. It may know it's there, but it's not gonna go back by itself. I don't think we have an
What
option.
about- How's it gonna handle invites that are coming in? How's it gonna know which one to send it to now?
So it knows enough that it fails.
This is what I'm trying to figure out. So I have two machines, okay? So one, let's say, goes down 2 minutes. Okay, so that means everybody re-registers.
Yeah, exactly.
re-registers to the new one.
Yeah.
This one comes back up, I'm getting invites from my carrier. They both have the same domain. How's it gonna know where to send it to? It's gonna send it to this guy, because this guy's gonna respond.
No, but see, it's
It's
gonna.
gonna be, the phone's not gonna be registered, it's gonna go to voicemail. That means these guys
Yeah.
will never get calls.
It's maybe just a bit too specific for me to verify that, but when we go in the settings, we can verify what it's going to do, and I think trying it would be the best.
Well, because I know that in the status, you can see the status of every NAP.
Of every NAP, yes, but also of every registrar.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it shows that NAP and the registrar is offline, then it knows. It's smart enough to know that.
Yeah,
information.
exactly, exactly.
So if the other one comes back on, it still has the same smarts. It's just a matter of whether or not it can act on it, right?
Yeah. I'm not absolutely, maybe Sardar knows the answer. I'm not absolutely certain.
I see, when we go to the configuration, there's the register selection mode, right?
Yeah?
But we only have one option, which is active and standby.
Yeah, active standby. So, but the part we're saying is not active standby, it's what happens when it becomes active again, right? So.
Yeah, and then it says there's automatic fallback. So when we go to the real we are going to demonstrate the real web total, right?
We can, yeah, we can.
So that, or you can test it because actually in the register, in my configuration, I have different protocol too. So, so my one register use UDP, the other one use TCP.
Yeah.
And then the other one use TLS. So we must have a way to differentiate them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's related to the NAP.
To the NAP?
Yeah, it depends. So that in that case, I have 3 different open NAP
Yes.
using different protocol.
Yeah.
So
Okay, let's see, maybe we can figure it out. If not, we can come back later with the...
or you
I
can.
guess I'll be spending hours again with it.
I remember I did the test, but I don't remember if it's going to automatically.
The problem is I didn't do much tests on this part. Nicole and Sardar did most of the tests, so I know some of it, but not all of it. So the steps to configure this registration is really a NAP for the registrar. So we saw how to configure a NAP just before. SIP domain, and then we attach the registrar to the NAPs, okay, or to the domains. So we attach them so it makes sense. Select allowed incoming NAP. So this was changed not so long ago. Also, before it could be only one NAP. Now you can say, well, these 3 NAPs, which could be semi-open NAPs, right? So groups of IPs or that could reach the same domain and same registrar. So we're still adding stuff to this system, right? Okay, so the SIP domain, if you go here, SIP domain, I will show you this also, SIP register filtering after. SIP domain, you have the name here, which, you know, something that makes sense to you. And for us, it's a 3CX registrar that we have here in our lab. And then domain name, so that's what will be received in the SIP register messages. Right. We'll have this domain and also the invites, right? Registration method here. I didn't write it here. It's in the other page. Okay. So routing method here. Register source. Okay. Source or contact information. Right? Source information or contact information. So that's similar to what we saw before in the other NAP. Okay, so it depends how you want to use it. I think everybody uses source, register source. Okay. And then the forwarding mode. The forwarding mode here. You have 2 contact remapping. Modifies the user and IP address of the contact. So when we receive the register request, we change the contact, so we reference it internally. But you can also select pass-through. And then it's exact contact that we receive that is sent to the registrar. So that allows the registrar to access directly the endpoint if it has a public IP. Okay? So I didn't know, but I asked Nicole yesterday which one do we use most, and she says mostly remapping, but some customers are using pass-through. So you will get the real contact information in the registrar. Okay. And then, okay, this is the other option, forward after to switch over. So if there's a switchover from active to standby here, there's only one option, right? And if it active fails, it's going to resend all the registration to the standby. Otherwise, it will wait until the phones re-register to the system. So I think this should be set if the registrar can accept a lot of registration requests simultaneously. Okay, so the NAP we have created already, that is directed towards the registrar, and then you can add this NAP to the domain we just created. Right? So then you say, well, this registrar can be accessed through this NAP. And here it shows also which IP are configured in the network access point. So that's like a local NAP, right, to your registrar. Right? And then you need to add the registrar, so you can have one registrar or more than one. This is what we were talking about. So you see here, we can define an IP, but that's just our local network, so we used an IP. But most likely it's going to be something like this. And you see this one, .tr, it's Turkey. That's Serdar who did this. So a 3CX in the Google Cloud that we use for our test. And you see here, this is using a private network, this is using a public network, so going back out on the public network to get the 3CX in the cloud. Okay. And here you put the priority. So the priority, then that's what I need to verify. If, let's say, it's the first time you create it, you do something like this, for sure, this one will be tried first. If it's up, it's going to be active and it's going to be used all the time. If this one is down, then after that it's going to use the other one, but not sure what happens after.
And protocol, I can select both, right? TCP, UDP, or is it one at a time?
Protocol here is the protocol of the NAP. So when you configure the NAP, when you create the NAP here, then it can be TCP, TLS.
Okay. But if I have one, if I want both TCP and UDP, do I have to create one, or do I have an option TCP, UDP?
No, it has, you cannot do TCP and UDP at the same time. So you need to have two different NAPs in our point of view.
So I have to create two.
Yeah. And in what cases would you use UDP and TCP?
Numerous cases.
Numerous cases, okay. But this, okay, be careful. This is the between the SBC and the registrar.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so normally we should choose just one mode
I
there.
thought it was between the end device, okay.
No, then the open NAP, well, you can have three open NAP, one UDP, one TCP, one TLS. Okay. What else do we have here? Oh yes, okay, this is the last part in the configuration. You need to add all the allowed NAPs for this domain. So you can choose each of your open NAP or semi-open NAP, maybe TCP, TLS here, and you just add them to your list of NAP. And these open NAP, like we said, should have the option accept only authorized users. They can only register through this NAP.
Yeah.
They should not be used for anything else. Yeah, we talked about the ACL as well. Okay, so this was a configuration from one domain, so you can then add another domain, which can be a different, well, this is the one we looked at. So we can have this domain, it could be, here we have an IP. You just reconfigure another one, different domain, different NAPs, different possible. So it's really two different things in the same configuration. Okay, so normally for registered systems like this, well, you will have that open NAP that you have configured to receive registration requests and be registered. And this open NAP will go to the PBX. Right? Normally that's the route you will get. Everything that comes in will go to the PBX. And then the remote, or the reverse, is that when it comes out from the PBX, so our PBX is the 3CX, and then it goes out by a registered user. So if the PBX tries to make a call, it will find the valid contact and reach that phone. Okay? So that's the two basic routes that we want to do. Of course, the PBX could have more routes. PBX can forward to other SIP trunks, but this is like the basic configuration for coming in to the PBX and going out from the PBX. Okay?
Does that have to be added manually, or is it automatically generated?
These need to be added manually. So in the configuration page we have done for this scenario, it says, okay, now do this, do that, add these two call routes. Domain status is actually in the SIP status. If you click on SIP status, here you have the SIP stack, but there's not a lot of things in there interesting. But here you can see the SIP domains. You can see this one is up and this one, well, unknown, I think it was never detected. Unknown is like never been able to reach it, so I don't know what's the state of that particular destination. So if you click on this here, you will see the domain state. So up is the green, okay? And then what else do we see here? Number of register requests received, number of invalid register requests. So I don't know exactly what we check for adding this to the invalid list, but it says here, request received per second. So for sure we'll block if we receive too many requests per second on that particular interface. You can see if there was it was 401s or 407s, subscribe messages, notify messages, publish messages. So this will be shown here. How many registered users and how many registered contacts? I don't even know the exact difference between the two. We can have more users. You can reset the registrations of everybody here, or domain stats. These are just the stats that we see here that can be reset. If you click on the second tab, which is Registrar, so you can see the state of Registrar. So you see this one is up and active. This one is down. Standby, I think. I don't know why it says standby, but if it's down, it's not going to be very useful. But if you click on the registrar, you can see if they're up and active. Yeah, okay, not much stuff here, similar stuff. Then you can see all the users that are registered in the system. Now, one of the things is, if you have a lot of users, then this list becomes a bit difficult to see. I think there's a way to get them, there's another way to get all the users if you want in the TB report. If you do a TB report, you can get the users that are currently registered to your system. Yeah, so these were the users, these were the contacts. So the contacts, you can see how long they were, how long is remaining on their registration before the refresh. What else here? The remapping. So this is the contact remapping. So you can see what was used in the connection. Source IP, source port. So you can get information about all the registration of the system. To debug SIP registration, well, I think call tracing will help a lot here. Signaling trace, you can see what's going on. In gateway application, that's the application that handles the registration. So in gateway application, You can see all the registration requests. You can see also the users live, right, using our live tool I showed you earlier on. So you can see everything live. And the rest is done by the SIP stack. Engine, there's a few things that are handled by Engine, but mostly SIP. So you can look at those stuff in the application logs, okay?
All right, no more goofing around. Back to work. Time to move on to the next module by clicking on the box over here.